Mr. Peter, what is going on over in the UK?
Mr. Jeff, and yeah, can we stop? I just realized that this will be when I'm in the US.
Who cares? You're still over there.
Sweet. Okay, let's go
Okay.
again.
Now you just fucked it up. Okay. No worries. Uh, Mr. Peter, what is going on over in the UK today?
Today has been a beautiful, you know what? For the last 3 days, 4 days, it's been beautiful weather. It really has. It's been really good weather.
You been out doing
And
anything?
yeah, I got out playing golf today. I got back, had a quick, jumped in the shower, had a quick wash, and yeah, it's been just getting ready, and we're just getting ready to leave for the US to come
Yep.
and spend some time with you for the next lifetime.
You're gonna be putting a a new definition to April Fools. You're coming
Yeah,
in on
that's true.
April 1st, right?
Yes, I did come in on April 1st. Yes. All right. I'm
So what,
sorry. I'm
what are you grateful for? What's your vitamin G? What are you grateful for
Oh, it's my vitamin G.
today?
Uh, okay, my vitamin G is I am grateful that I'm actually really grateful to be being part of this, being part of something that is bigger than me,
Good.
being
Awesome.
part
Me
of
too.
being something that is really driving me to look at life in a completely different perspective and see how we can change people's lives and watching people grow around us. And yeah, that's what I'm super grateful for. Just being, having the opportunity to be part of something bigger than myself.
Beautiful.
What about you for vitamin G? Vitamin G.
I received a message on social media from a lady by the name of Ash that
Okay.
had a picture attached to it with a couple of passports.
Omega.
Making sure that it becomes real. It's real now. Now it's just getting your butt on a plane and getting over here.
Yes, it
Happy for
is.
you guys.
I'm happy for you as well. I don't know about I don't know if I'm happy for you. I don't know if you're happy for you.
Why don't you explain a little more? I don't understand that one. You're happy for me. Why?
I'm happy because we're going to take this to something. Look what we've done in a very short period of time when it comes to building a podcast, getting a podcast out there. And I look at it from a perspective of what we're going to do in the future. And you are going to have to spend a lot more time with me.
That's why you're happy for me.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
That's why I'm
Okay.
happy for you.
Awesome. Awesome. One way to look at it. Ah, awesome.
Oh,
Awesome.
so what are we going to talk about this week?
We're going to talk about a law that's just as big of a law as gravity.
Hmm.
We're going to talk about Carl Pearson. And I know I talked to you a long time ago about him.
Yeah.
Carl Pearson has a law that
Hmm.
states when performance is measured, performance improves. But when performance is measured and reported back, the rate of improvement accelerates 10x.
Okay.
Okay. So let's define that a little bit, and I'll give you a little bit of a background on Carl. So Carl was on this planet between the years 1850 and 1930, roughly
Yeah.
around there. And so he grew up in London. He was a very intelligent person. He worked for the university there, and he was one of their mathematicians. So if
Yeah.
anyone has ever gone on to a university or college and really has got into the math and they had to take like calculus,
Yeah.
Carl is known for creating calculus. It had to come from
Okay.
somewhere. It came through him.
Yeah.
So, very intelligent person. He also, with all the things that he did and his followers, one of his mentorees was Thomas Edison. So Thomas
Oh,
Edison,
wow.
if Carl wrote a paper or did something, it was written. Edison and his team would read it. So
Yeah.
he was really looked up to by some really good people. Most people don't know who Carl Pearson is,
Till today.
but
Huh?
they do know who Thomas Edison is.
Yeah,
Well,
that's very true.
Thomas Edison was a pretty smart guy too, and he was growing up in that era, and he had mentors, and one of his mentors happened to be Carl Pearson. So Carl's a really intelligent gentleman that left a lot of great things. But one of the things he left here was something that they used his name and created a law behind. So it's Pearson's law.
Yeah.
If you ever look it up on Google or AI or whatever, make sure you put Carl Pearson track, measure, and report back. Because if you don't, Google's going to share with you how many people with the last name Pearson have law degrees and have their own practices. It's hard to find. Hard to
Really?
find. Yeah, it's crazy. Do it something. Yeah, I haven't done it on AI, but I did it on Google back in the day. And I learned about
Wow.
this like 10 years ago. But this is one of the foundations that we have with our program: track, measure, and report back.
Yes,
And if life is worth living, it's worth recording.
that's true.
And how many people record what they're doing?
That my good thing goes not many with what we're talking about. And the element of, and again, this week is what I'm hearing is it's about track, measuring, and reporting. What we're tracking and reporting back. In the world of social media right now, like everybody is recording. Like at some point, everybody is recording. They're just recording the wrong damn things. They're not
What do you mean by
recording.
that?
What I mean by that is, all right, I'll use this as an example. I went to a theme park the other day. There's a guy walking there filming on social media, and I think he was live streaming or something like that. At some point, everybody, like a lot of people right now are just recording random stuff. So somebody will be having a fight in the street, they're recording it. Some they'll be recording what food they're having for social media, or they're recording a video or something like that. And what Pearson's law is all about is track reporting and measuring and recording stuff that is for whatever you want to improve in, right? That's
Well, no, let's take this back. The person that's at the zoo, the person that's out on the streets recording
yeah,
things that support in your mind, your meaning of it is recording things that don't matter. But if we think about this, think about track,
yeah,
measure, and
yeah,
report back. Okay.
yeah,
They're recording. They're not
yeah.
tracking. They're not measuring.
True. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
get you.
So it's a whole different world.
Yeah,
Yes, by definition, they're recording something on their social media, on their Facebook Live,
yeah,
whatever they're doing, but they're tracking. So what we do is we're taking Carl's information and we're tracking, we're measuring and reporting back. So a
yeah,
lot of the people that are on here are a lot of professional people, a lot of people that own businesses, right?
yeah.
That's why if you have a successful business, you are tracking, you are measuring, and you're reporting back. It's
That's
called the
true.
numbers. Peter,
Yeah.
you're a very successful business person. I love numbers, and
Numbers love me.
that's
Yep.
your motto. That's your motto.
It
I
is,
love
yeah. It
numbers,
is
and
for me.
numbers love me. You
It
are
is.
tracking, you're measuring, and you're reporting back.
Mm.
Okay. That's what this is all about. But how many people that are business people have successful businesses, but they don't have a successful, healthy life because they're not track, measuring, and reporting back?
That was me. That was me. That was me before you came along. That was me 4 or 5 years ago. I was track measuring and reporting, like you're saying. It's funny because we don't ever look at putting this into our health life. And like you say, no tracking, no truth.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No tracking, no truth. And that's it. I've never heard a truer statement said.
So, and getting back to that just a little bit, all the successful businesses out there in the world, they do this. They might call it something different, which is
Hmm.
fine. I've just come across and learned this from a mentor of mine, Jesse Elder, years ago when he talked about Pearson's Law.
Yeah.
And I started to look at that. And then that's how the foundation of the Healthy Once and For All program was created, was around that.
Yes.
We also, we'll talk about that later days, but we created a gamified system around it too to make it fun. But
Yes.
tracking, measuring, reporting back, you said in another episode a while back, is one of the mottos that we have is win your week, win your life.
Yes.
So we want to take a snapshot of our life because a week is a big chunk of time. We want
Hmm.
to look at that and go, okay, what did we do this last week? So many of us are thinking about quarters or years or months, but we want to just take 1 week at a time And if we could win that week, we can win our lives. Imagine
Yeah.
winning a week after week, and 52 weeks later, we look up and we go, we had the best freaking year I've ever had in my life because I'm tracking, measuring, and reporting back every single week, learning from what I'm doing here so I can do different things in the future. So now I become a different person. And all of a sudden, we did a podcast a while back about habits. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, we create new habits. Now we have more
That's true.
empowering habits that really get us to excel and be able to have what we want.
Yeah. And
Anyway.
it's when you were saying that, I was just thinking about what one of our mentors, Tony, says about when he takes over a new business. He's got, I think I recently heard 122 new 22 companies now. He's got 122
Okay.
companies, 12 billion turnover. And he says when he goes into a new business, a lot of the time they'll be doing quarterly tracking and he will go in and he won't make it weekly, he'll make it daily. Sometimes they'll do 2 to 3 times a day. And it's like, where can we implement what we know in business? Because there's so many people out there, like you said, that have got successful businesses. Where can we use them tools that we know work in business to create us this lifestyle that we've got in
Mm-hmm.
our actual lifestyle to be able to release weight or create new habits, which we talked about last week, or get into going doing sport or running or walking, or you talked about it the other day the other couple of episodes ago, or the habit one from brushing your teeth to doing 30 push-ups. How can you track that every day? You can track that every single day. Did I do it?
Mm-hmm.
And then it turns into that week, you
Yeah.
know?
And then it gets into, and I love being on this planet right here and now. I love the technology
Mm.
because let's talk about measuring for a second. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's think about measuring and let's think about health. Okay.
Yes.
How do most people measure their health?
Let's make it easy. They stand on a scale.
Bingo. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what they do. Step on a scale. And that number tells them if they're doing good or bad or whatever's going on.
Yeah. That's their
Today,
perception.
what's that?
I said that's their perception, whether it's good or bad, depending on the number, right?
Yeah. But by just looking at the number, that's it. We have technology today where we can step on a scale and
Mm-hmm.
it will tell you your fat percentage of your body, your muscle percentage of your body, how hydrated you are, those types of
Yeah.
things. That's the intelligent way of measuring today
Yeah.
because muscle weighs something. So
Yes.
if you're going to the gym and you're lifting weights and you're also releasing fat from your body and you go step on the scale and the scale doesn't move at all,
Yeah.
what do most people think?
They put weight on. Or
No,
they've not lost any weight. Or they've
they haven't
not
lost.
lost any weight.
So they feel like they're losing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they've not lost anything.
But that's a perception of that measurement.
Correct.
Okay? They didn't go deep enough. For me, I want to track, measure, and report back. When we do a lot of things, I'm tracking a lot of times not so much the food that they're putting in, but the emotions that they feel, what they
Yes.
feel like after they eat something.
That's
That's
true.
where
Yeah.
we really go deep with stuff. That's when we're really tracking and measuring. We're getting down into the we're chunking it way down to really look
Yeah.
at what's going on because it's an emotional thing. So if that scale doesn't move, but your pants are fitting better, your shoulders are getting bigger, and those things, that's what you want. But if the
Yeah.
scale doesn't move, you feel like you're failing, and I call baloney on. That's why I'm like the tracking, the measuring, and reporting back is very important.
And that is something that we do this right at the beginning. And you know what? Let's put this out there as well, Jeff. Let's put this out there to everybody. Like, I challenge people out there to go and take pictures of their food, not to put on social media, not to do anything else, just for a week. Do it for 7 days. Go and take a picture of every single food and drink. By the way, this is pretty important that you take pictures of the drink as well. And then go back after a week,
Mm-hmm.
see actually how much you've eaten and what the quality of the food has been.
Yeah.
And when I first did this, it was like, I'm gonna say it as it is. I was like, holy fuck, shit.
And here's the thing, when you track and measure, like just the snapshot of the foods that you're taking, what you're doing, and you're looking back a week, or you're looking at it a week and going back and looking at what you ate, what it's teaching you is awareness. You're just becoming aware of the foods that you eat. So
Yeah,
measurements, tracking and measuring really equals awareness, and awareness equals the power. You
yeah,
have the personal power to change something. It would be,
yeah,
it's really, you and I are going to jump in a car. We go over to California, we rent a car, and we're driving to New York.
yeah.
Okay. We jump in the car, we're ready to go. We take off. No GPS, no map. Do we know if we're getting closer or further away?
I
But
don't know about.
that's how people are trying to release their weight. They want to, their weight is something, and we'll compare it to California. They want to get to
Yeah,
New York, and they want to look better. They want to get to this goal, but they never track, measure, or report back any of the numbers or whatever. They're just stepping on a scale. They're not talking
yeah.
about their emotions. They're not talking about how they feel. They're not doing any of those things.
And they're not taking measurements as well. Like, example, taking measurements or taking pictures of yourself.
Yeah,
There's
pictures are
another.
worth 1,000 words, man.
Yeah, and I want to touch on something that a lot of people don't do because a lot of people focus solely on food, the food that they're putting into the body, and they forget about the drinks. And I want to just touch on something with you recently that I really found out about recently is, a lot of people go to Starbucks and they have a. I'll use me as an example. I used to go there and I used to have a sugar-free hazelnut skinny iced latte or a sugar-free, yeah,
Again, skinny
it
what?
was a sugar-free skinny iced latte, and
Sounds
I used to have two or three of them a day. And then when you look at the calories, and it's not all about calorie counting because we don't do calorie counting. But what I'm saying is, when I looked at what was actually in it, I might as well have just been having a chocolate bar every single time.
mhm.
And because it says the word skinny in it and sugar-free, and it's got coffee in it, I thought that was okay for me. And actually, when you've got a mocha choker, whatever they are, with all these fancy bits and bobs, and
Kind of
everybody's
what you
like,
just said about your latte. Yeah, let it go ahead.
yeah, yeah, it's a bit like that. I know you just have black coffee. It's okay. I understand. Sometimes you put the things in it. Is we forget about it. We forget about it. We forget about that it's not just the food that we're putting in our bodies, it's actually the liquids that we're putting in our bodies as well. People that are drinking, are they having, example, a Bud Light, or are they having a full fat Bud? Or are they having a vodka and soda water? I know
Mm-hmm.
we really, you now and then have a drink of alcohol, not a lot, and I don't drink at all. It's just
Yeah,
them are the things that people forget. So when I've set this challenge, I'd like everybody to take a picture of the drink and the food, and let's see what they can come back with.
and their
You
snacks, and their
Yes,
snacks.
just
That's
everything that goes in your body.
anything that goes in here. You just take a picture of it. That's where you become really aware of what's going on, and it'll make you. It'll really make you think, because you walk by the pantry and you grab a handful of chips or a handful of Doritos, handful of peanuts or something. You forget about those little snacks that you're having all day long.
I'm just a bit confused. Sorry, that's why I'm a bit blanked because I'm like, what is a pantry?
It's a place where you store food.
That's why I look like I was like a rabbit in the headlights.
What do you
Oh,
guys call it? This should be good.
it's kitchen
You put it in the kitchen. Okay. So
or a fridge.
you have drawers and doors
Yeah, we
and
go just have a, so
cabinets.
we'll have a okay, so we'll have a biscuit drawer or a biscuit tin or a sweet tin or a fridge.
Okay. Fridge. There you go. That's good. You guys have a fridge.
Just that's why I was a bit blank. Oh, anyway, back to track measuring and reporting, by the way.
Yeah. But the big thing is, when you track, measure, and report back, you have to track, measure, and report back intelligently. Okay. So when you drink something, you need to ask yourself some questions, which we have in the program. You ask a few
Yeah,
questions prior to eating and a couple of questions after you eat, to find out how that relationship with that food was with your body. Now,
yes,
for myself, I use this example. I walk into an Italian restaurant, one of my favorite things to eat used to be chicken Alfredo. So it's pasta with this thick, creamy Alfredo sauce and chicken on top of it, right?
Yeah.
I would eat that, and then my stomach wouldn't like it. So I'd maybe have to run to the restroom. And then I had to get to a couch as fast as I could because I wanted to take a nap or go to bed or sleep or whatever. That's what that pasta did for me. That's what that Alfredo sauce did to me. So
Yeah.
I was the one doing it to me. I was the one that was putting the fork in my mouth with the food on it. I just needed to look at that and go, if I want that feeling, if I want my body to go through that, totally fine because I know it's going to happen.
Yes.
But now I can walk into an Italian restaurant and I can order a salmon with broccoli because when I walk out, I have tons of energy and I'm totally fine and I feel wonderful.
Yeah.
And so
I
we just
agree.
have to look, and I'm just using that as an example for my body. Some people can eat that and it's fine. It's totally fine. We have a 24-year-old son, Zachary. He can
Yeah.
eat that. He can chow it down. It doesn't affect him at all. He's at that age where it hasn't affected him, but my body has changed. And as our bodies change, we get to look and create different ways of doing these things. But our bodies really will talk to us if we take the time to track, measure, and report it back. Now,
Yeah.
let's talk about reporting back. Okay.
Okay.
We talked about tracking and measuring. Now let's talk
Yeah.
about reporting back. So let's talk about that a little bit about who you hang out with is who you become.
Yes.
Okay. When you report it back, if you can report it back to a coach or a partner or a group, right? You get to share it with somebody else, and then they get
Mm-hmm.
to help you with their perspective. They get to help you with their coaching, their mentoring,
Yeah.
those types of things. So you're reporting it back, and people love it. If we look at graphs, we love looking at graphs, and
Yeah.
graphs are unbelievable. So if you want to make a number up here. If you want to release 40 pounds in the next 6 months, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And you step on the scale every single day,
Yeah.
okay? You're going to see it fluctuate. You'll have kind of an interesting weekend. You eat a little too much, and all of a sudden your scale goes from 210 to 214.
Yeah.
That will, how do I say this? That will throw a wrench into your diet because you're like, oh my God, I gained 4 pounds. I'm done. This thing doesn't work. I had was a couple of different, I had a meal, I had a cheat meal and I gained 4 pounds. My body doesn't work. My metabolism doesn't work anymore. I'm done. I'm completely
Yeah.
done. I'm done. But if you're track measuring, reporting back, and you have a graph and you see it on top, and all of a sudden you see it gradually moving in the direction that you want it to, and then it goes up
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes back down. And
Yeah.
when you can visually see that, we as human beings, when we visually see something like that, gives us that, oh, yeah, this is working. I'm going to continue to
Yeah.
keep going. It is working for me. And we track, measure, and report back a lot different numbers than anybody else does. So
Yeah.
we're looking at like the facts. We're not looking at a single day. We don't care about a single day. We're worried about a single week, a single month, and a single
Yeah.
year. And so that's where the reporting back comes in.
And I think when the reporting back is cool as well because you can even if you wanted to, I don't, if you look at somebody that you want to model and look at them, what have they done? You know, what success leaves clues. So what have they been doing? I'm more than likely they're going to be track measuring and reporting, and they'll be reporting back to somebody else or something, or you'll be reporting back to yourself and then having a conversation with yourself about it. I know both me and you report back to ourselves about certain things. We also report to each other about it. And then I also look at when it comes to track measuring and reporting, not just food, you brought it up as well, not just food and drink. I look at what is actually going on in our life at the moment. Like you brought it up about asking the question of is this, you didn't say the question. I have a question which I use, which is this good for my future self? Is what I'm just about to put into my body good for my future self? That's one
Mm-hmm.
of the questions I use. And then now I've started to even look at, okay, what am I going through in life? So I'm reporting back, I'm tracking it, I'm looking at it and being aware of it. And then I'm reporting it back to myself and saying, I also report it back to you as a friend and mentor. What else am I going through in my business right now? What else am I going through when I'm moving to Arizona? How is that affecting me? That's also tracking and reporting and measuring.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's really powerful. It and one of the things that brings up to me is a lot of people that I've worked with, when reality sets in, when the facts are shared, when we look at the facts, we talk
Yes.
about that a lot. When we look at the facts of what are your numbers, what are you tracking, and a lot of things happen is they get fearful of where they're really at.
Yep.
They feel ashamed because of where they started and what they've done up until now to change, but they have to change their identity. Their identity is conflicted. So you have your
Yes.
identity, you're like, this is who I am. I had a gentleman that I worked with when I first started working with him. He was 378 pounds. Today he's in the 250s, and
Wow.
him and I just
Woo.
decided to take it on, and he wants to get under 200 pounds. He's going to get under 200 pounds in the next 10 months. Okay.
Woo.
But his identity at the time that I met him, he didn't know what was going on. His two goals when he first started working with me, he goes, I want to get down to 211 pounds
Yeah.
from 378 down to 211. And he goes, I want to be able to tuck my shirt in because my belly's been so big for years. I haven't been able to tuck a shirt in.
Wow.
That was his two goals. And I asked him, why do you want to get under 211? He said, I weighed 211 pounds when I was 10 years old. And his nickname was Big J. His first name is Jeremy. His nickname was Big J. Everybody said, "Hey, Big J," and so he wore it. His identity wore it. He wore it like a suit of armor that he
Yes.
was a bigger person. Then he falls in love and has some kids, and he's got this beautiful daughter. And he goes, "I'm going to walk her down the aisle.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk her down the aisle, and I'm going to be in a healthy. I'm going to share. I'm going to let my kids understand I'm an example of health, and so they're going to be an example of health. I'm going to share that
Beautiful.
with them." And that's what he's doing. But he had to change his identity. So he used, when we first started working together, he told people, they go, "Hey, Big J." And he goes, "Hey, I don't go by that anymore. I go by Jeremy." So
Yep.
now people don't call him that anymore. He doesn't, because he used to tell fat jokes. He used to do all those things, but that was that identity of who he was. So we had to change that identity.
Yeah.
And
And it,
that's those things, and that's a beautiful thing to understand. That's why we track, measure, and report back,
yeah.
because those things will happen. Our identity will shift, and then also our identity will sabotage us.
Yeah.
So
That's
we have
true.
a thermostat in our heads for a lot of things. We're just only going to talk about our bodies and what we look like right now, but our thermostat is in our head. Is If you have a thermostat in your house and you have it set at 72,
Yeah.
and it gets cold outside, it gets so cold that it'll kick the furnaces on, and then the heat will
Yeah.
come on, and they'll get back up to 72 and it'll shut off. The same thing, like if it starts getting really warm outside, it'll get so warm, the house will get warm, it'll kick the air conditioners on and bring
Brings it
the
back down.
temperature down to 72 again. That's the
Yeah.
same thing that happens in our heads with us. We will get to a point where we will step on the scale. People will step on the scale or look in the mirror and go, "That's it. I am
Yeah.
done. I can't look like this anymore." And they automatically make it a must to go in and start releasing weight. So they start eating, they start going walks, they start doing all these beautiful things to get healthy. But here's the crazy thing: they will release the weight and they'll get to a certain spot, and then all of a sudden they'll look in the mirror and go, "Oh, I'm looking too good." Now, consciously, they're not thinking this. Unconsciously,
Yeah.
and then they will sabotage and start to gain the weight again.
Yes.
That's what we do with our mindset, our work. We talk about addressing and then rewriting that story.
Yeah. And that's exactly what, and it's funny because our internal thermostat is something that a lot of people don't know. And that's, like you said, that's what we teach. We teach that type of stuff. And while we're on this subject, by the way, as well, because I haven't said it on this episode. So if anybody out there is not subscribed or liked our pages or anything like that, we would really love you so we can do our own tracking, reporting, and measuring on how good we're doing in the podcast and Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. We'd love you to go out there, just press that subscribe button, that follow button, whichever you want to do, and then we can do our own tracking, reporting, and measuring. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Excellent.
So, one of the things that I'm going to bring up because I just thought about it, right, is isn't it amazing how people will track an Amazon package, or they'll track a post or something like that, and they'll be like, "Where is it? Where is it?" And they'll be tracking it, but they'll not be tracking their own habits. They'll not be tracking their own health.
Won't be tracking what's important. Yep.
Yeah. The other one is this big thing. Like I do it because we use these. I use Whoop Strap, so that's I'm not contracted to Whoop or anything because I know you're on the Aura Ring
Yeah.
to you, and I love tracking my sleep, and I love looking at the graph, and I love looking at the consistency and the habits, and it also does steps the same as yours. And it's funny because people love to track steps, but they don't like to track the snacks or what they're
Right.
putting in the body.
Yeah.
it's,
Because that's hard. That's hard to look at. It's hard to look
It
at.
is. Yeah. Imagine this. Oh, go on. Sorry. Go on.
And I just want to add, you brought it up, and I want to like preface it, and maybe I don't want to go a little deeper. I just want to make sure it's really interesting when we say the word snack, we think of food.
Yes.
Okay. People really need to take a hard look at what they're drinking
100%.
and use it as a snack, right?
Yeah.
Every time that you take you should never drink your calories. That's a very powerful thing that I learned. It's like never drink your calories. Our body has 75% of it is water, and
Yep.
we don't drink enough water. And we have an episode on that. But I just want to reinforce when you're talking about snacks, not tracking your snacks, you also have to look at what you're drinking. Drinking is really important. So that was one of those that you had brought up. I wanted just to reinforce it.
Agreed.
And a snack is something that you drink too.
Yes, agreed, 100%. And what I was going to say as well, because it just dawned on me, is what about, and maybe in the future this will happen. Maybe we'll actually do this somehow. We'll probably get some tech boffin to do it. Every time you picked up a piece of food and you opened it up, it pinged to your phone to say that you'd eaten it. That would mean every single food provider or drink provider would have to put a kind of a chip into the product so that, say you opened the bag of chips. I'm going to call them chips because I'm talking in American now because I'm moving to America. And all of a sudden, bang, it pinged your phone saying you've ate this amount of calories with this amount of fat, with this amount of sugar in it. And then you ate them all. And then it popped up saying, did you eat the full bag or did you only eat half the bag? That would be that's future down the line, way down the line, but that would be awesome for track measuring and reporting.
No, and you can do that yourself right now. Technology, but you can do that right now. Like Steph and I have Zag days, like every 21 days. One of the things we like to do is we like to go have Mexican food. And what we do is we like to eat chips and salsa, right?
Yep.
I take so many chips and I put them on a plate, say 15, 20 of them. And then I eat those and then I'm done. So I'm tracking, even though I have a Zag day, most of the time we would just keep eating them. And they're like, you want me to bring us another basket? We're like, yeah, bring me another basket. By the time the food came, I'm so full that I shouldn't eat, but I still eat.
Yeah.
And so we look at that and we're like, we enjoy the chips. We enjoy a margarita. But it's one of those things where that's what, like in the United States, that's what happens a lot. You walk in and it's free chips and salsa.
Yeah.
They're just going to keep bringing them up to you until you say don't bring them anymore. And so that's where you have to be really smart, got to be educated in those types of things. They want to have you come back. They want you to walk out going, oh my gosh, I'm so full, but the food was amazing, blah, blah, blah. Those types of things. But they're trying to fill your bellies up as cheaply as they can. So chips and salsa, beans and rice.
Yes. And water. When they give you free water.
Yeah, we do get free water over here, thank God.
Yeah, we
Try to
don't.
go to the UK and find water.
No, it's not the UK. It was no. You went to Germany,
Oh,
wasn't it?
Germany, Germany, yeah,
Germany,
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 yeah. Because I was like,
Germany.
you can find a beer or coffee all day long, but it's hard to find water.
Yeah, Germany.
Yeah.
Oh man. So let's do a recap
Okay.
of the track measuring and reporting. One of the big things for me, takeaways, was if we're not tracking it, we don't know about it.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Um,
If
and
if your life is really not stuck, your direction is.
yes,
Okay.
that's
We're on
powerful.
that GPS roadmap going from California to New York again.
Yeah,
It's not your life's not stuck, your direction is. You just
yeah,
need you just got to look in the mirror and go, I'm going to be truthful and look at the facts of what's going on.
yeah.
That's
That's
what
very
track
true.
measuring reporting back does. It's just let's know the facts. Let me just see the facts. Let's face them, and then let's do something different about it.
Just
Great
take a
episode.
different road.
Great episode. Great episode.
Yep, it was. It was a
All
great.
right.
Yeah, absolutely
Just
awesome.
remember everybody, we are your wake up call to get healthy once and for all. And I will see you next week. See you later. See you next week, Peter.
See you, buddy. See you
All
next
right.
week.
See ya.
See you, buddy.